And then once they would have clicked it, we'd have had them because they'd be like, let's see what these niggas talking about.
I shoot people. Why roll?
I can't stand that nigga black.
I know they lying. What the hell they talking about?
Just stick around looking up like somebody else.
What they call it? Clickbait.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
I done found some hidden gems on music with clickbait. But they be like, oh, this Drake. And it wasn't Drake, but the song was super fire.
He be like, I like Ray. Ray is dope. Ray beat.
So you can listen to my music. I like that.
What do you name
like
it?
that.
Ziggy Zo.
Ziggy Zo?
Yeah,
I'm not about to listen to Ziggy Zo though.
I know, but no, they said it was a Drake song.
I know we was trying to listen to one of my songs. Thank you.
You Ziggy Zo?
No, I'm Drake, bro. The dark skin Drake. As you are the light.
They said it was the light skin Drake.
He needs to hit the weed. He needs to hit the weed.
He went to everybody but Drake.
Yeah, the nigga we were talking about.
Hey.
Oh, you think you know?
Got a straight
I
picture of
didn't even
him.
know you was Ziggy Zo.
Got a straight picture of him right here in my phone. No, him.
Why you be telling me you was Ziggy Zo black? I'll be like, you
No,
down
right
there
the picture of him.
Make sure y'all share the stream so that you can back in.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that.
Do what now?
Share the stream.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is it up now?
It's up.
It's up.
Y'all live.
When it's
Oh,
up,
okay,
then it's
hold on.
up.
Let me
When
copy the
it's
link.
up, then it's up.
And share the Facebook?
Yeah, you should. Hey, shout out to the producer because you know producing is like that's the shit of it all.
You say me? Am I the producer?
Yes, you are. Yes, that would be you. Shout out to the producer. And I'm hella mad because y'all only got us 9 likes on. I mean, likes on that last one. Should be charging y'all niggas for that stuff. Go back to the producer. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Shout out to what? Slim.
What did I say? My name's Ashley. Gang.
Gang.
That's it?
You the whole entrepreneur. And that's what producers do. They don't even know what to really say, but they know what to make us say. Right. Well, argue a point when you mentioned their favorite artists. Right. You go.
Yeah, well, she got stirred up on that one.
And she articulated that like, hold up, I ain't gonna come in and back like that. Man, she doing some shit y'all don't know about.
Gotta speak up when it's time to speak up.
Hey, I ain't gonna come in the Quran like that.
I'm here for
Hey,
it.
biblical Quran.
I'm here for it.
He is not letting us go this year.
Yeah,
No, I'm done.
This man said, "Here for right now."
I'm done.
What? Hilarious.
Am I on the right one? Like I'm delayed.
Yeah, it's delayed by like a couple seconds.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I'm on the right one.
Hold on, let me, what else? What else I need to share? Share to my page, let's see. I like internet, but you better than just like this motherfucker. You invested.
I'm like, I expected
This
81
is
internet.
I know, right? You would not be incinerated by just going down the stage.
So did anybody watch the verses? Because I want to know who y'all thought won.
Mario,
Mario won. I concur that Mario won.
he was being extra though. He was being extra.
Anybody feels like anybody else won? I feel like some did well too.
Can I ask a question to y'all? Y'all can be I got a hot take.
What's
Okay.
up?
I think versus need to stop now. You know what? Hey, I thought you know what? You know what? You might be the first person on the internet to say that, or if you ain't, then you amongst them greats. Because you know what? You damn it. I was kind of thinking that, but I was like, you know what? It's also a good thing because it gives you kind of like a free concert. You know what I'm saying? But then if y'all niggas gonna show up acting like that, I'd rather y'all not do it.
Yeah, that's like the Bobby.
This nigga got a kid in his head talking about, but nigga, you ain't got your whole masters. The nigga like, I do got my masters now. Like, oh, what you say? I'm like, why y'all got the little kid in the? Oh, God.
It's the fact that they always late, and I mean a lot.
I understand that part, though. I understand that
That's a
part.
lot. Like, so it was like 2 hours late.
D-Ray sucked being a host.
No, did he really?
He was trash being a host. Shout out to D-Ray.
The reason why I watched it was because, like you said, I saw people online talking about who Ray J think he is, right? Like, I've met Ray J, I've seen Ray J and some. I'm like, this nigga, his perception is one thing. Where he is another thing. Not to say one is like hella bad or nothing, but the perception is bigger than what it really is. Mm-hmm. And so then when people start attacking that, I was like, Ray J, it might be time for you to slide off the camera now. and then I pop on the reverses, right? And all I see him up there, he clowning, you know what I'm saying? He clowning, but now the optic was bad because you got the little kid in your arm, bro. So now you're doing it wrong.
Well, he held his composure because Sammy kept singing One Wish. Like anytime he came to say, he kept singing, and at first Ray J was cool with it. But like on that fourth time when he started singing One Wish, Ray J had that look like, man, I'm gonna steal this Jimmy real quick. If he sang my song one more time.
But he didn't even sing his own. He wasn't singing well. He was trying to
didn't even sing his own
song. He can't sing though.
Anthony Brown
way better than Ray J.
Their own hits. Is it true that his voice started harmonizing with them singing that?
Oh, Bobby V and they started.
Did he switch sides on them and say, no, you take the middle, you take the middle, I take the low, you got this, okay, you take it. If I have one, they didn't come together, didn't they? Like
they did.
They worked together to sing his song.
I gotta go back and watch it.
He was off key bad.
And then Brandy made a comment saying that he should have drunk some kind of tea. So I told you, she's like, I told you don't talk that. I told you don't talk that whole day. I told you to drink that tea.
That's what Brandy said.
And you deleted my
comment.
comment.
You how you gonna say what you said earlier about Brandy did? Because you know Brandy, she gave him some game right there.
Bro, she could have told that man to drink. She could have told that man to drink the Fountain of Youth. It's still going to hit me more.
No, it wouldn't help. It wouldn't help because if you smoking trees, you can't be smoking trees.
He could drink.
I think your voice gonna stay like that.
He could drink warm water. He could drink lemon tea, honey tea, herbal tea. He could have mined.
He couldn't even hit that little cracky little. He couldn't even hit that little cracky little note that's already off on the album.
It's about 8 years ago.
He couldn't even hit that though.
You don't know.
You could take back and still underhand in this mic.
Shout out to Ray.
What you know what I'm saying? Ray, that's how we know.
Shout out to Ray Killer, entrepreneur.
No, why you shouting about? They're not paying us.
No, it don't matter.
They might have in the future.
Shout out to Pineapple Express in Hollywood because we do it. THC, higher collection. We are branded with them.
Double C,
but that don't mean I ain't gonna keep it lit on here about my man because he can't even get that note.
Man, shout out to our real sponsors though.
Yeah. The ones that pay somebody to do.
This is brought to you courtesy of the 2020 Podcast LLC.
Please say the LLC.
Hey, he did the shit.
And these are the 2028. This man, wow. Somebody needs to come say, hey, get that man a bottle of water.
No, that's how he act tomorrow though.
Right, he's gonna be
sitting here like this tomorrow, like.
What happened, guys? Somebody please get something in this.
Shout out to our sponsors, Black Renaissance Clothing Brand. You can go to www.shopblackrenaissance.com. You can type your promo code LLC20, get 20% off your entire purchase. But make sure y'all go to the website. They just dropped some new hats. They just dropped some new merch. So make sure y'all go ahead and check it out, man. Black Renaissance Clothing Brand, www.shopblackrenaissance.com. And also, if you want to get your beard velvetized to the fullest, go to www.blackboxgrooming.com. And you can also put in promo code LLC20 and get your beard velvetized, get your husband beard velvetized, get your boyfriend beard velvetized, get your sneaky link beard velvetized, get your work husband beard velvetized, get the young man down the street that's going for an interview beard velvetized, get the homeless man who always looking rough on the side of the street beard velvetized. But just get men beard velvetized here. In the summertime it's hot, so get that beard velvetized.
Even if you're a woman got a beard, you too can get velvetized.
Because I ain't never seen nobody wear velvet when it's hot. You want velvet on your face?
I got velvet on my face.
No, it's that.
I don't want to go against your brand.
It's that
I
feeling.
don't want to go against your brand.
It's that feeling.
Oh, it's the
It's
feeling.
that feeling.
Oh,
that feeling, that crushed velvet.
When you lay
What is this? What is this, velvet?
Oh, what is
this, velvet?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You grip
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? You talking to your man like, oh baby, you know, you grip it like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pull it a little bit. You know, like I shave my down for the Key Sweat concert. Shout out to Key Sweat, aka this is the light skin Key Sweat.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? But I shave mine a little bit down a little bit. You know, it's still better.
Drake got more number one albums.
It is man. It is man go.
Oh,
It is man go. The dark skin. I thought you were dark skin Chris Brown tonight.
Oh yeah, you're right. Chris
Hey,
Brown
Shay.
got more number one albums.
Hashtag the dark skin Chris Brown. Make sure y'all hashtag that.
If y'all wait at midnight, I can do the Chris Brown and the Drake, the No Dice at the same time.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all tune in next month, man. This is gonna be the light skin Key Sweat versus the dark skin Drake versus.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? We gonna
I
pick up.
dance too. Y'all don't know that.
Hey, I'm like Key Sweat. I don't dance. I just roll with it.
I
I
dance.
just roll with it. You know, I just roll.
I dance.
I just roll with it. You know
I
what I'm saying?
dance.
Just got paid. It's Friday night.
Let me see. We got five.
Five,
We got
shaking.
something that's good. I like that.
Shout out to
But I think we need to share this somewhere else.
I need you to share the hell out of this right now. I need you to go to that dude that be messaging you from work.
Right, that
I
nigga.
need you to send him. I need you to send this to him.
Right.
I need you to text your mom.
I don't know about that.
Hold on. And say, is Miss Gladys doing all right? And she gonna say, yeah. And be like, hey, send her this link. I need you to do that now. I know everybody got a herbalist in the family. You know, shout out to the herbalist. I need you to send this link to your herbalist. Because you never know what you might be needing. Y'all don't never ask how your herbalist
Look what
is
this
doing.
say. So.
No, go ahead. That was it.
Because in part one, we was talking about.
Hold on, which one of y'all on?
We
I
was
don't
talking-
see nothing.
You don't see that on YouTube? So go to the Hit the 2020 podcast. So you can go to the hit videos. It should be that top video.
Let's say live right now.
Yeah, I'm on that one. Okay, I see what it's saying now. Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
Is it playing on the
Okay, I got
20? Is it on the 20
I
minute
got it.
stage?
Appreciate it.
I don't know, but look at this.
It's
I got a Facebook memory from 8 years ago. It says Beyonce was 6 when Jay-Z was 18, but that's none of my business.
Oh.
So we were
Now,
talking
when
about,
you said that she didn't have any backlash, nobody brought that up. The subject got changed, but that did cross my mind. Back then.
did she get backlash or did he get backlash?
No, it was her.
It was her?
It was both of them, but
What did they say against her? I'm just curious.
Me too.
Like our grandparents didn't have 10+ year difference.
yeah, but that was your grandparents. This the night, like when they were like
Was
the
he dating
70s.
Beyonce when she was 8 though?
I hope not.
No, of course he didn't know that.
Why did he make?
It's still the age gap though.
I think he met her when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
But when she dated some dude, cause they were like, oh, that's the biggest fool in the world. Cause she went to the prom with some guy.
Yeah, she went to the prom with some dude.
Yeah, and he also was dating.
But it's not like she
Aaliyah,
could have
too,
went
when
to
she
the
was
prom
young.
with Jay-Z.
Shoot, since y'all talk about the vocal Bible, she went to the prom with Kobe Bryant. Randy did.
You right, she did.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, I said that.
Lord Mary.
I'm sorry.
R.I.P. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, listen.
R.I.P.
Wasn't he dating his wife at that time too?
No, I think he met her at a photo shoot. I mean, a video shoot after that.
Shout out Vanessa for holding it down.
But either way it goes, she got everything.
R.I.P.
Randy messed
Gigi.
up. She should have gave him something at the prom.
Yo, that's what people didn't like. People did not like his wife for a long time.
Exactly. They didn't really like him until he died, really.
Yeah.
To keep it honest, because even as a player, a lot of people didn't like Kobe.
But I think as he transitioned to the next part of his career, like doing the film, because then he was like a Grammy.
That's
Oh, like
after
a-
his career.
yeah. Yeah, also like when he started transitioning, that's when he
Well,
started.
honestly, I think it's because when you're no longer in the competitive lane anymore, and you can have more fun with it, I think we can see another side. 'Cause I think in a lot of aspects, Kobe was like Jordan. You know, Jordan was like win by any means necessary. Kobe was arrogant and win by any means necessary. But you know, of course, you can back it up. As you mentioned, you got that black mama. But when he got outside, and was doing interviews and shit. I love Kobe. Kobe was funny as shit, bro. He was hilarious, and people enjoyed talking to him because they knew they was gonna laugh. And the energy he brought. You know, and that's just the thing. When you're a competitor, it's me over you all day. But when you just here for the love of the sport, especially when you stay, you know what I'm saying? You stay within the realm of the game in some capacity to help further the next generation. You know what I'm saying? That shows you got an
outlet on the other side.
Just too many people that's like, I'm just here to collect my check. Well, I can't.
Let me tell y'all some real shit about this nigga Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Let me see if fuck you up.
What you gonna tell me about Kobe?
A lot of people didn't like Kobe when he was playing, but I've been reading Tim Grover. He's the trainer for Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy. And when he retired, if you can unplug either one of those.
You sure?
Yeah, okay. So once Jordan retired, Kobe got him. And one thing that he was trying to do with his daughter was to have his daughter to be the first female in the NBA. Not the WNBA, but the NBA. So like that ultra arrogant persona was a part of a winning persona that Tim Grover helped institute in these guys. They already had the drive to do it, but it got kind of like focused on how you become a six-time champion, five-time champion. It's a certain mind state to take that. It's a certain mind state to winning in general. And so for Kobe, that was like one of the things I thought was kind of dope. That, you know, as a player, you would think you would want to have a son so you could give him the game, but then he was so arrogant that he was like, you know what? I have my daughter so dope, she can play with men. And I could kind of probably see that, I could have probably seen that within 10 years. Like how progressive the world is going. If she got the skills, why not?
Well, I'm glad you brought up that topic because that correlates to what we discussed a little bit earlier. Now, I posted an article about Louisiana banning transgender players from participating in women's sports.
Thank goodness.
Well,
Which state?
Louisiana. I was going to ask you guys, I'm not asking where do you stand in this situation.
Okay.
What lane do we create for trans athletes who actually want to participate with other genders? So how do we make everybody happy? Is my question. What would you do?
Have them in their own thing.
That's what
I don't
common
make
sense.
everybody happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's always going to be upset.
Right.
That's the lane you chose. That's the lane you got to ride in.
You don't think they thought of that?
I mean,
So who do you think that would be feasible? Do you think that would be business wise? No, for real. I'm being real because we already have an issue with like the WNBA, like the stark differences in pay, the stark differences in support.
but that's easy though.
Yeah, we know why that is.
That's easy. Like that. People who feel like people who are hurt by that difference, that's an emotional feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't expect, if I know this arena is just going to sell 1,000, I can't expect to pay the artist the same in that 1,000 versus the artist who gonna sell one out for 100,000.
Yeah, of course not.
That's all it's about who support it.
That's what I said. It's about agenda.
And even in my sports group, because some of the guys in my sports group, they talk about that like, oh, WNBA just like this, the NBA and stuff like that. I like, well, why y'all wives ain't got no jerseys? Why y'all don't ever post when the games be on? And I started being petty because I haven't watched the game since the Cooper was playing. But it was a couple of times where they had like some good game where they was like a couple of buzzer beaters. And I said, oh, why didn't nobody post in the group that it was a buzzer beater last night? Oh, why nobody didn't post that Candace Parker had a triple double the other night? Oh, why nobody? But as soon as Kevin Durant do something, it's a whole bunch of posts. As soon as LeBron James post something, it's a whole bunch of posts. But as soon as the women say something about equal pay and stuff like this, now y'all wanna, oh man, y'all act like I bet y'all can beat them on the court. Okay, bet that. But why y'all not posting about it? You know, just don't, you know what I'm saying?
Just don't talk.
Put some action to it. Shout out to CJ Poe. We had this conversation before. Shout out Claude.
That's why it's not.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah,
That's my guy right there.
Whatever happens, the issue is no longer the issue. The issue ain't really about equal pay. That's low hanging fruit that you can start an argument about, but it ain't about that. It ain't about that because we know dang well that the WNBA ain't generating as much money as the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with man or female. Now, you want to micro manage that and say, okay, what can we do to get it on that level? Because it took years for the NBA to become global.
True.
The NBA is a business. Y'all might think it's a sport. It's a business first. So, same thing with women's basketball. It's fairly new considering what the NBA is. The NBA even goes so far that they finance part of that.
True.
Otherwise, people wouldn't even really go see those games. If it was really an issue about equal pay, the sisterhood would go together, take their daughters, take their nieces, take their nephews to these games, and you ain't even got to pack out a 30,000 arena. All you got to do is pack out 10,000 at a WNBA game. If it start being like 10,000 people showing up at them games, then they start popping on TV. It's no different than an algorithm from YouTube. If people start watching it, then you're going to see more of it. And then people really understood the greatness of women's basketball. Because me, I love women's basketball. Because without having the ability to dunk, you have to have the most fundamental game.
That is true.
You got to have the most fundamental game. You got to set the picks. You got to run a play. You can't be like a man and I'm going to juke you here, juke you there, and I'm going to dunk on 3 niggas. You gotta work as a team. And that's what sports is about, teams. Why do you think the UConn teams, the Tennessee teams was so awesome to watch? And we watched those games. So if we could find a way to do that with the WNBA, then we could make that a more marketable thing. And then I could see, okay, we can put more money into that because then we can project it instead of taking 10 years to do something. We can do it in 3 years. It's easy to put up a facade that the WNBA is the shit. It's easy to do that. All you gotta do is pump money into it.
But even at its, to me, when it first started, it was at its height. Because you had Lisa Leslie playing, all-time great. You had Cheryl Swoops playing, all-time great. Cynthia Cooper, all-time great.
That's the hype. Why would you think?
To me, that was the hype of it.
Why would you think the beginning is the hype? But what you had to do is and listen how what it had to take for women to get a sport on that level. It took all the legends. It took the Olympic team to win. Because remember, nobody was tripping on women's Olympics like that. This was men. But the women's Olympic team to come together and did what the men did, dominated the world. Then people embraced women's basketball. And then it made a start of something. So for me to think the start of something is the pinnacle of it, it already failed once you leave that moment. So what I'm saying is we should use that as like a good foundation because it's an awesome foundation. Because you know them players, I know Cynthia Cooper's all them great. I can name I'm sure I can.
Shout out to Tina Thompson, that was my crush back in 99, 2000.
She was cute with the lips.
Man, bro, shout out to Tina
like
Thompson.
I said, I done knocked down hella women basketball players, so trust me, I watch women's basketball, I understand the game, and I love it and everything. But what we need to do is, because like the Tarasis, all them is about to retire. Them is legends. So what we need to do is somehow learn how to pump that market into there. That's what I'm saying. It's not about equal pay because women, the sisterhood would jump on that and make it more popular. But it's just not as exciting as watching the man dunk, unfortunately.
But they have made a suggestion as to lower the rims. You know, but the thing about that is, and we already know she's outspoken. Let's ask for a woman.
We got women in the room.
No,
like they're not sitting here.
Hold on a second. Let's make this come here. From actual player, Brittany Griner, she actually Brittany. She actually made a comment about men basketball players, saying that she knew she was better than I forgot. It was some guy.
She was lying.
It was some guy. She said, "Oh, I know I'm better than him," and he made
DeMarcus Cousins.
No, not him. It was some kind of white bench warmer guy. And she was like, I know I'm better than him, and he making $5 million, and I'm only making 80,000 or something that she said along them lines.
Yeah, nigga that don't even play no minutes in the game but desperate.
But this is my thing though. We said it's not equal pay, right? And And if women want to do this and want to do this and make it fair and pick things out, why are they not doing it? What are they complaining about?
Because, right. That's my point. Like the sisterhood would come together and they would start taking all into the games. And then once you pack out the arena at 10, 15,000, you generate more money, and then men will start buying in onto it.
So why they not doing it? That's the question.
Who is that? Women?
The women, yeah. You see the women wearing Jordans and the men's basketball jerseys and
The
all
men
that.
just like bitching about shit anyway. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not. Just like niggas.
I'm glad you said that last part. Because I was about to go for
Hashtag Uncle Blood.
But I know, right? But when you say lower the rim, that's something that men discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is that compromises the game because now, once you do something like that, right? And then let's say the WNBA rise to a level, and then they start talking that we just as good as men. Female, we lower the rim for you. What are you talking about? And they'll lose perception of that, and then it becomes a whole male versus female ego battle at that point. So
It's
now,
already that.
but it shouldn't be that right now, because one is here and one is there.
Watch yourself.
It is. We're talking about as a business.
Oh, okay, yeah. I agree with that.
As a business.
Wow.
As a sport, it's equal.
Because,
But the
let
thing
me
is,
say this. From an emotional standpoint, of course, rah rah, sis boom rah, boom rah. I want all women to be able to make the same amount of money as all men, especially when you play the sport. You give the same blood, sweat, and tears. You know, you play it to the, utmost ability. You train in the same amount of hours. You're doing this. Of course, I feel like you definitely deserve equal pay. However, it definitely is a business. And as a business owner, I understand the logistics of it all. There are maybe, we'll say 85% of people love men's basketball. You know what I mean? We can't say that 85% of people love women's basketball, but we can say maybe 25% of people love women's basketball. You know what I mean? And so the arenas are not as big. They're not selling out their arenas. People aren't wearing their gear. They're not talking women's ball on social media. Women's ball is not trending. So for you to feel so passionate about something, that's really what they're saying. So I definitely understand their point of view and what they're saying. Of course, they're going to say it in their own way, but it is a very valid point of view that in business, women's basketball is not bringing in as much. You know what I mean? As say, Serena and Venus on the court, because you can't really say how many other tennis players can you name.
Why do you think Brittany Griner had to go to Russia to make more money out there than she would in the WNBA?
Yeah,
That's not a man thing. That's a business thing.
It's definitely
and men are only
business
looking
thing.
at it from a business standpoint, not an emotional standpoint
Because
at all.
In order to make more money, you have to have more money coming in. So I definitely understand the logistics behind it. From the outside looking in, it's like, damn, that's unfair. They getting paid, but it's this much. Okay, well, like they say, you're not buying the tickets to help them have more pay. You're not going to their games and selling them out like
a Knicks game, a Lakers game.
right. Like
Champions.
All the time.
I wasn't thinking of players. I couldn't think of these teams.
Curry.
Right.
Because the NBA is actually
They
NBA is
all
trying
day.
to actually get more. It's like trying to get more teams. Like they keep on bringing the team back to Seattle. While in WNBA, I think 3 teams been folded, 3 or 4 teams been folded since the inception. But NBA trying to find another. Should we bring that
There's more
Seattle?
money getting pumped into it. Because the thing is that the dynamics is different. It's different now. We're global. NBA is global. Global.
So who's the athlete? Because pretty much Magic and Bird carry for many. Then Michael is widely considered that Michael Jordan made the game global. Who could be that person in the WNBA, or maybe persons that can make that game global? Can
You gotta make it
basketball make it
domestic.
global?
You gotta make it domestic first.
That's true.
I was about to say it could be anybody, bro. They just gotta drum up the
If
interest.
Taurasi and
She old, huh?
yeah, if she could, what's the other? Candace Parker.
She old.
If they can't do it, then so that's what I'm trying to understand from the women. Like, because you saying, yeah, they're not making as much money, so it can't happen. Why isn't it happening? And I don't know why.
That's what I'm telling you. People don't support women's basketball. They don't like women's basketball as much as they like men's basketball.
Why?
So when it comes down to the
Because women
business,
like watching men. Bro.
some people don't like women to play aggressive sports or aggressively in sports. Some people don't like that, and that's just their preference. Like I've talked to a couple of people. I used to do the book or whatever. Look, I've lived 17,000 different lives.
That's why she came up.
Hashtag Kate
I
Marie.
used to be the official book or whatever. So in talking to people around, I'll be in tournament. So it'll be like a boys game, girls game, boys game, girls game. So every time the boys play, the stadium is bleachers are packed. When it was a girls game, people were at the concession stand. So it just showed you, and I was like, dang, people don't even come in here supporting that. I'm enjoying the game. I have to watch, I'm gonna get your book. So I'm enjoying it. Women do play a lot dirtier than men, I feel like. But I enjoy watching the aggression of women on the court. I can't find myself tuning into a game though also. So you know what I'm saying? But I do like to watch college basketball with women because they still have the heart. And it seems like when they get to the professional stage, they're like going through the motions or whatever. Not saying they don't play as hard, not saying they don't have as much heart. It's just what I feel when I watch the game. But watching like UConn, when UConn was out here like, you know what I mean? Like, I watched all of that. Them girls were beasts. You know what I'm saying? So I love to watch the passion of the sport. But everybody doesn't share that with me. And I don't even share it as fully as some people. You know what I'm saying? So people just don't like it.
So
they don't like to see
level of the
women
product?
fighting or women up against each other or women going toe to toe. We ain't supposed to be doing that. And then there's people that think that's a boys' sport. What are women doing this? So there's a lot of that too. A lot of people don't think how we think. You know what I'm
So they
saying?
should lower the
it's not
rim.
as accepted. But
They should lower the rim. They should lower the rim. They should lower the rim.
I mean, the
Because if I saw a girl dunk on another girl, I'm watching. I ain't lying.
Hey.
If I see a girl come to the hole and smash on another girl, I'm watching.
It's normally when they dunk, it's a breakaway dunk. They ain't around nobody.
Yeah. They
I
just have
do
two
think
hands in
it would
it.
be dope to see women.
If a girl dunk on another girl, I'm watching. I'm
Like
watching.
seeing, you know what I'm saying?
I see the chick standing over the chick and give that what look.
Yeah, I'm watching.
And,
Right.
I'm
like,
Like we see balls on foreheads, we like this
Right.
slits down faces, you know what I mean?
I'm watching.
We
If I
all-
see a girl dunk on a girl, I'm watching.
I agree.
I'm watching.
Definitely
Yeah.
like, baby, we
I'm
gotta watch
convinced.
them.
Because I
Ooh,
was
who
in
they
the
got on their team? Ooh, we gotta watch them. Like I don't know. It give a whole new level to it.
It would. It
I
would.
don't know.
They should
I feel
drop
it.
it to like 9 feet.
How do you
But
feel
then
about
when you play in college at 10 feet and then go to the pros at 9 feet, that makes it that compromises the game. So that means you have to change it
Across the board.
across the board.
I gotta be conditioned because my conditioning is like from what? When we saw like what 98, 99, 99, 2000 or whatever like that.
What's that?
The WNBA. Oh no, it was like 95. I was still I remember we used to do the classic game. So that was like 95, 96 when it started. And I watched all the 4 years when Houston won 4 straight years. And then I just stopped watching. So I gotta get conditioned to watch it. I even tried to who that chick was, Della Dunn. I said, that's what I'm gonna stick on, that's what I'm gonna watch her. You know what I'm saying? To try to get back into it, and I just couldn't. Even though she got hurt, you know what I'm saying, quite a few times, but it's like I couldn't. I
Do you
just
guys
couldn't.
watch basketball for the team or do you watch it for the player?
Both. Dame Dollar, Portland,
Both. Town business.
But like, what draws you? Does the team draw you or does the player draw you? Do you
It's
choose
the
the
competition.
I have my own
All of
team. There we
it.
go.
It's the competition.
There we go.
Because certain matchups intrigue. It makes me see
That's why we watch
what
everybody
versus
versus.
This
what.
person good at shooting, this person great at defense, but this
And
nigga
how
over
are
here,
they going to
they
clash?
dump. And this person over
Right.
here, they do this. So then
Let me give you an
how
example.
this gonna play out?
Let me
Boom,
give you an
snap. And
example.
it's such a fast-paced game.
When you
Back and forth.
used to go to chemistry class, go to science class, and you saw you had all these elements, and you knew you was gonna go to lab. You were just excited because you know some shit was about to happen at sports. You see all the elements there and different people, and you know something is about to go down. That's it.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what it
in
boils
a
down to.
basketball game, it can go either way, the whole game. They can be down because points rack up so quick. You can get a fast break and back-to-back score. You can-
All the guys.
I know, it's just this mic. But,
Like you said, bump the mic.
Sometimes she want to fire on me.
right, I might. But they can back-to-back score. Like it can go either way. Either way the whole game. And them last seconds are so crucial.
They
You can
are.
have, and then don't let you go into overtime. Oh, my baby loves sports. Oh, when it go into overtime,
That's
I
what I
can't
was
even
gonna
talk
tell
to
you
this
earlier.
man.
That's what I
Can't even talk to
That's
this
what I was
man.
going to tell you earlier. I forgot. Pause. We put a pause in there, right? That's what I was going to tell you earlier. I've been working for a little bit now, right? When he came and got me today, we talked sports, right, the whole way.
Mhm. He was a whole
All the
different man.
words that he used is all the words that I've talked to him the whole time I've known him through these years. We talked more, he used more words today in that ride to the house than he did the whole time I've known him. And we got a good relationship. You know what I'm saying?
When
You
I
cool.
tell you, my husband is like the way that his mind works when it comes to sports and numbers, really. But the way that his mind works, he has stuff stored. He knows people's records from it. Nope, because back in '92, okay, there was a game. He ran down, like he knows in his head games from childhood. They're like in there. Like I've never seen anything like it. Y'all think I know my poems? Me knowing my poems ain't shit compared to Marcus knowing these sports facts. And when he talks about it, his face lights up. Like he'll no, what you want to do? Okay, I see that. No. Like wait till I put these TikToks at side note at it's me, Kayla Reed on TikTok. But when I put these TikToks up of him and his boys just talking sports, and I was just like, he is yelling. You know how when you was in the 90s and you used to talk on the phone and you be talking all sweet, you end up on top of the refrigerator, inside the dryer, walking on the roof, you know what I mean, laying in the sewer drain, you know what I mean? That's how he be standing on the bed, sitting on the drain, no, in the shower. That's his passion right there, and I love to see it. But I wish he was here to talk about how he feels about the game, because I guess that would give you a whole different perspective, because he's the way he thinks about it. And then it's basketball and football. And then I didn't even know he knew tennis facts. Like he hit me with some upset.
Yeah, we talked that today.
Come on, let's go on in here. Because I love it. Ooh, I love to see you talk about your passion, baby. Come on, talk that stuff. Tell me about
So
somebody.
do you think that would make you feel less than a man if they lowered the rim to 9.5 feet or 9 feet?
No,
You
I
think?
feel I want him to lower the rim. So I guess I'm
What you
biased.
think? What
How do
you
y'all-
think?
the ball is already small.
Yeah,
Like they don't have the same size ball. So I feel like that and that go together, right?
that's true.
You trying to dunk on some hoes? Come on, let's dunk on some hoes.
I'm watching this.
Yes, I'm trying to watch
I'm
that.
watching.
Let's run your check up. Go around and run your check up. I feel like that makes everybody happy. Let's do it. We watch old dunk on hoes all day. I'm sorry, I respect you.
We know what that means, man. In the most inclusive
But I'm
word.
just saying I'm tuning in.
Right.
That's it there.
I'm just glad that we haven't covered that part of when they were like, oh, if they was around that half naked, men will be watching the game.
That's dope.
Which is false, because how many of us have watched the lingerie league?
Right.
I watched that. They was hitting on there though. They was hitting though.
Yeah, they were hit, but how many of us have like saying, I mean, I've been watching lingerie. It's a football
Oh
lingerie
yeah, I
league.
know.
But how many of us have said we finna watch the lingerie league?
I know when I see that one video that come up on my Facebook thread with the girls with the booty playing basketball, I watch it every time. And it's been out like 2-3 years.
But they bouncing the ball like
I don't
this.
care how they bouncing the ball. I don't care if the ball go in the hole. I wouldn't apply for SOFFA. And I watched that.
I can't even
He watching
front.
the way they live.
I can't even front. I was watching that shit. I was like, that bitch double dribble.
Exactly. See?
But who
I
cares?
said-
You wasn't yelling at the
Apparently
TV.
he cares.
That shit turned me. I want to get this shit off.
For real?
Exactly.
I said, this ain't even real. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Like, this bitch all in the back
Well,
corner.
But this is
This is
crazy. I did scroll back down and watch the jiggle a little bit, then I scrolled back.
I was there
You
for
were
other
impressed.
than
I did. I ain't let it go all the way out the. And then I scrolled back. I'll be honest.
Oh, fuck.
I have a question though. Let me preface by saying I
Speaking to the
am a
mic, please. So,
super casual sports watcher person.
Casual.
Super casual. When I say super casual, I mean super casual. I don't really have a favorite team, favorite player. The only time I really like sports is partly when I know somebody playing. That's really all I really care about.
you
So-
see the kids get their ass beat that day for
And they did. They did. He's talking about a baseball game. Anyway, but my question is, what is the purpose of them changing things like the size of the ball, moving the room? Like, wouldn't that make it easier for,
Offense.
especially since the players are so tall, at least in the men's league?
We're
Offense
talking
sells
about the
tickets.
women's league for them to lower the goal for the women.
But that kind of
They
made it
have
seem
to
as
say-
though it needed to be changed across the board. So men
For men and women?
Is that what
No,
you're saying?
No, I'm saying this.
College
I mean like
and
NBA.
professional.
Yeah. Like NBA, college, and high school. You gotta change it all the way across. Because if you used to shoot at 10 feet,
Right.
your jumper gonna be off at the rim.
That
That
part.
You have to relearn how to play.
You got to relearn how to play, and the quality of the game will go down. So you got to change it all the way across. the
That's
board.
because even when they do that,
So
they only do that during like the world games. Like we play the world games, the court is a little bit like the 3-point is a little bit
Yeah,
more
it's a little
in.
different.
And the goal is a different height.
The length of the court is different, the size of the court is different. Like it's easy to shoot a corner three when you playing over there, you know, some different things like that. So, but the game is about selling tickets. And guess what sells tickets? Offense. So anything to help the game, to help you score more points, guess what?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Because when Detroit and San Antonio played in the finals, those were some of the lowest rated finals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, that you had. But when you got stars and you got high scoring, guess what? Folks gonna tune in.
You just want to see the lights get shot up.
Nobody don't want to see a
But-
71-68 game versus you seeing a 117 to 115 game.
But you right that they do change the rules for the men's game too to facilitate the offense. That's why we say the game is softer now. Because they make it where you can't even hand check or you can't be as physical. Everything's a foul. Right, everything's a foul, right.
Zone defense, all that.
All that. So that part happens across the board. That part happens, but it's just because, like I said, remember, it is a sport, but it's a business first.
Mhm.
They don't care about the sport. We can play the sport in the park, but it's a business first.
But do you agree that more men watch these type of sports than women do? So shouldn't it be more men also watching women's
What sports?
basketball?
Yeah, so but it's not as
I think
competitive.
more men watch women's basketball than women
You
watch
might be
women's
right.
You might be right.
You might be right.
You
might be right.
I mean,
I
and
just
also the men are funding the women's basketball in a way. So I mean,
I just don't agree with the notion that women need to support women basketball even if they don't really watch like the sport.
Let me
No,
tell you
but
about
they're
Don't
saying-
complain if you-
they're saying don't complain if you're not doing anything to help the problem.
Okay.
The problem is they're not getting enough sales in order to raise their
Right.
rate. If you don't bring X amount of money in, we can't pay you this amount of money.
So that was
This
just my
is what you
solution.
bring in,
And I
this is
agree
what
with
we can
that.
pay you.
I agree
And so
with
they
that.
were just saying that if you ain't gonna be the ones going to the games and selling these people out to help them get a higher salary, shut up.
No, I ain't saying shut up.
I mean, but that's,
Shut up,
I just
dribble.
put it in layman's terms. But
That's-
I mean,
that's-
but, you know, they get black. They'll
don't
get black
complain
on that
about it
one.
if you're not doing anything to help. You're not even watching it. Like you can't even give them the TV series. It's the little change they get from being broadcasted and you watching them on that channel. Like you're not even tuning in. Is what they said. You're not even doing the bare minimum, but you rah people pay and you're not doing nothing to help them. You ain't even
Well,
supporting.
that's just a business solution. That's all.
yeah.
That would be the business solution, and it's not even required for you to do a third of NBA would do. They just need a little help because otherwise it's a bad investment. But they only keep it together for monopoly yet, really.
Yeah, 'cause they really just, the NBA really just breaking even.
And that's good for business, kind of. As long as you ain't losing money, you can withstand more years of that.
Even in that, like we
Because
said
they ain't trying to
earlier,
make no money off that.
like we said earlier, like 3 to 4 teams had already folded in the WNBA.
Yeah, so maybe Lauren and Ring might do that.
Like your whole opinion has changed within this one conversation. Yours
What changed?
about the room.
Yeah,
At first
it
you
did.
was
It
going,
did.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Now
it
you back
did.
on.
It did.
I like it.
Absolutely.
So why what's the hashtag?
He's an open-minded guy. He just wants you to hear his point of view
Dustin
too.
Rose?
I want to hear your polls.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hashtag
You want to
number
hear what
3
you gotta
polls.
say on it, and he'll you know, okay, I can understand that. But he wants you to hear what he gotta say too, Billy.
Well, because of
And
what
he
you,
also wants you to think logically and without
Yeah.
emotion, because when you put emotion in it, then it turns into opinion
Exactly.
most of the time.
Right.
So you have to take the emotion out and
68.2%.
pick up it like, right, 68.2%. I'm scratching out of the shirt.
I
But,
got
you know, and that's what he generally says, that women think more emotionally, men think
they're
more
emotionally,
logically.
they think
Which in
emotional
a
first.
sense, I agree, but I kind of don't, but you've changed it. Okay, emotional first. Oh,
Then logic second.
Cause just imagine this.
And then men,
Look at black
what
people.
men do, they think logically first, then emotionally. That's why they're complementary,
Complimentary.
complimentary.
compliment.
Hashtag complimentary.
He
That's
said
that Hennessy. That
complimentary.
Hennessy don't help. That's why they're,
Hashtag Hennessy don't help.
we think, that's how God has a sense of humor. He made us think logically first, then emotionally, and then made the woman think emotionally first, then logically. That's why we're supposed to come together like that.
Just to give y'all a visual, imagine Ashley coming down the lane, ducking on K. Marie and Rain.
Nigga, I'm replaying the
Nobody
fuck
can
out of that.
even see that.
Bro, I'm getting a shirt. I'm getting a shirt that says,
That Ashley is.
I'll be like, why did
Now
Country
she's
found
like
her?
5 foot even.
I am
Why-
not
And I'm like,
Why won't Country found her?
And Raina probably as well. So,
I'm a strong 5'11".
I heard that.
but I'm.
I believe it too. You
I
feel like you
I
might,
told
you
you, I
feel like you
warned
might
her
do something.
that-
something like, okay, we warmed up. We got 15 people in this show. Hey, subscribe and like. Thank you for those that subscribe and like.
Thank you,
Hey,
appreciate
you know why I
you,
never
people.
put one in the chat? Because if you put one in the chat, you eligible for the cash app. I guess I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to give it away. If you don't put one in the chat and you're not on the 2020 page on Facebook, you cannot get cashed out on your cash app.
Ms. Griffin, go ahead and like that page on Facebook.
Yeah.
Make sure that y'all share.
But Shiva, I saw that name. I ain't gonna lie, I tried to practice your name before I said it. 'Cause I looked at that motherfucker for like 5 minutes while they was talking.
What
I was
is
signing
it?
that
What
shit
is
out.
it?
Bathsheba? Yeah. That's original.
That's
I like
that. That ain't what's. Okay, go
What you was about to say?
ahead. Nothing. Just gonna search question.
All
I
right.
was gonna say something.
No, I ain't have a question. I just had another topic.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
So I've been seeing this trend of white people advocating for blacks, but it's real cringe. You know,
Give us
it
an
comes
example.
off as even like disingenuous in a case, like bringing up politics out of nowhere, having a stance.
You don't know?
You know, yeah, I saw that shit. Shit was funny. So if to our white friends, how can if they want to be down to support, what tips would you give them to seem genuine and not with the fad?
Shoot, be genuine.
Well,
That's really
but
hard.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What you say?
I don't think
Well, no, 'cause like-
anything else.
like that's
The thing is, like, I gonna say
give
this.
us a life example where you would think that would be being disingenuous.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I was at work. I'm sitting there working. I told you I'm on the little project shit, young cat, and it's really with young cats. The younger Caucasus mountain dwellers
Right.
that I run across this with. So he was like, "Yeah, man, you see what's going on with Texas, and you know they're really trying to screw over voters' rights, and you know the demographic of blacks just get screwed over. You know, and I'm with you guys. I just think
That's when
the
you
way
ask
that we
them for
acquired this
$100.
country, we with us not wanting to talk about critical race theory isn't really going to solve the problem." He was just rattling off the list. It's just like whatever hot word you could think of to show me he was an ally, he was trying to rattle it off his list at one breath. And I'm just like, bro, I just asked you for a list of serial numbers. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
What if he wanted to just relate with you?
Why?
So that's my
It's
question.
suspicious.
That's my question.
Why is it suspicious?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I know one thing, back in slavery,
I'm
right?
not gonna lie.
Back in slavery where white people was hanging black people, if a white person lied to me and told me they was gonna help me, I would have probably believed them. Right? So they was trying to relate. So like I'm thinking if they was trying to relate, then maybe they can make a difference, because the thing about it is we can only make so much of a difference. You know what I'm saying? We can change how they perceive us a little bit, but what they can do is they can change how they treat us amongst each other.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So he might be just trying to relate and don't know how to do it. And it does come off cringe, because I'm like, what the fuck do you care for? You know what I'm saying?
Because we're
That's why I said, that's why I said,
conditioned to Caucasoids not caring.
right, because
Yeah.
I'm not my own thing.
That was you. I'm calling you.
So like you said, we're conditioned to not trust you.
Hashtag Caucasoids not caring.
Yeah. I'm gonna give $10 cash out to the person who can spell Caucasoid within the first 3 minutes. Go.
From the mountains of
25.
Caucasus. Who is that white baby?
Yeah, so at the same time, I can understand the preservation. I can understand the preservation, right? But the thing about it is, I'm gonna default to maybe they trying to help, because they can't really do us any worse than they already done.
Jesus Christ, they can.
I mean, I mean, like, I can walk around and eat cake without being killed, or I can go outside, or if I look at a white woman, my life ain't on the line. I can walk out with diamonds on my whatever. I can smoke trees.
Or you could drive a nice car and not have someone say, "Oh, he must be a ball player."
Yeah, all that. So I mean, like, the way we live in life now ain't nothing like slavery. So I'm thinking there's really not too much that they can run on us, that we shouldn't be intellectually sound enough to counter that at some degree, even if they do get it over.
What kind of time was it asking? Because you know you gotta like take all of that into account when
Right.
somebody's asking you a question. And what was the topic? Because one thing I did see on TikTok recently was this little Russian girl getting drugged because she asked the question, why are 90% of black women single mothers?
Oh, they.
So why would they drag her?
And
Because she has several posts where she is asking cringe-worthy questions.
Even if she being funny, right? It hit dogs don't holler, right? So if it was like unfathomable, then
90% black.
Let me say it again.
Were you offended when she said this? Personally,
Who,
were
me?
you offended? Yes.
I wasn't necessarily offended, but I was like, why are you asking this question? And
What's your motivation?
what's your motivation for this question? And then that was mostly what everybody was asking her initially, because the way she spoke it, it wasn't out of a genuine place. It's like, I'm concerned about you guys, I want to help. It was like, why are y'all like, it was judgy.
But even if she said
It was harmful.
but
It
even
wasn't
if-
in a place, it wasn't coming from a place of good or like
And
good meaning.
Let me ask you this then. Even if it was from a place of judgment,
How would you react?
exactly,
How
would
would
you be
you-
able to respond to that in a informative manner, even if it was coming from a place of malice?
Would I personally be able to?
Yeah.
Of course. But that's, everybody's not me. And you have to also, and I guess that wasn't her only post. That was, like she said, it was several other
So
posts.
that's her
She said something about black men, not protecting black women.
And white women have been tearing her new asshole.
And she said a whole bunch of, it was clear that she was trying to be antagonistic.
what if she's a shock jock? It's social
Maybe
media.
so, but
Well,
at the
they
same
shocked her ass
time,
It's no different than the
They
Cynthia
shocked
G.
her back.
If you want to continue having children by these black male struggle bandits, I'm like, damn. I mean,
I know exactly.
you're right, yeah. Right. And so the thing about it is, That's their lane. That's their niche. Like you said, we talking about social media because at the end of the day, it's no different than watching TV. We know love and hip hop not real, although people try to live their life like that. But the thing about it is,
Then she also said, "Get over it. I'm gonna have a black baby." That's from Melanie.
Oh, she did say that she was gonna have a black baby.
who, the girl?
The Russian woman. Yeah.
Why would she say I'm gonna have a black baby?
I'm supposing that her boyfriend is black. I suppose.
So wait a minute. So,
I feel
okay,
like
so,
they gave her
Right.
a little green card.
right.
For saying some shit like that.
Okay, so
But she'd like to take black dick, so. she
but
felt like
what
she
if,
was
what if
saying
that's something that he expressed to her, which is a part of the problem? Because she might, because he'd be like, well, why you go date somebody outside your race? And he tell her, because, you know, black women stereotype, insert stereotype, and then,
And all
like
she
you
knows
said,
is so that's what
yeah,
she
no,
started
yeah,
on the
exactly.
video.
And then
I
she
be
used
like,
that green
why y'all
card,
like
like you
this? I can't
said.
believe
Yeah.
you're like this and like this.
So if I was a black woman, I could see why I would be mad at that.
So she
If I was a
felt
black
that
woman, I could see why I would be
she
mad
know
at
she was
that.
gonna get clapbacks like that.
And I think a lot of it also was about just, people know black outrage gets abused at this point.
Absolutely, because they're gonna
She-
share it. They're
She
gonna
definitely
watch it
did
again.
that. It's coming from a place of, well, I think the
Monetize.
first time was ignorance and, foolishness. But every
It's the
time
opposite.
after that,
Yeah.
she was trying to get her eyes out of people.
She
And
getting
she
paid
also
though.
cut the check.
Yeah, well, I think she getting
Because
paid.
all publicity is good publicity, they say.
What about people that's not getting paid? K. Marie, me and you had this discussion, talk about it a little bit about the Democrats when I call it the Methodist, the Methodist cloak. Remember that a couple years ago when they was kneeling with the kitchen,
Oh.
with the kitchen cloth on,
Oh,
and then they had another one they had their fists up in the air and stuff like Nancy Pelosi and all that. To me, that was disingenuous.
That's cringeworthy.
Like that's my opinion.
The
I can't
Kente
see it,
cloth
but
on the
it was
shoulder.
just like.
Like
It was the Kente cloth for me.
That's
what- that's what-
Then they kneels.
like
Oh my God.
I just think I'm more.
Like, where you got that? Who told you?
But
Who told you?
the
to do
thing
that?
about it is,
Why you did that?
they've always infiltrated black culture. So it's not nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not nothing new. So when anytime a white person asks me about my culture, if you ain't trying to help fix it, you infiltrate it. You're a culture vulture or whatever you want to
Yes.
call it, and that's just what it is. I ain't gonna be able to stop you because you'll get it from somewhere else. But at the end of the day, if we have a problem about it, then we need to, like I heard you say earlier, which I don't know how I feel about it, but you were saying certain things is just for us. If certain things is just for us, then we need to have gatekeepers that stop other people from doing that.
And I agree with that.
Shout out Fubu for us by us.
For us by us, right?
Shout out Crocodile.
Right. So,
Shout out Jabot.
said Carlin.
right.
Oh.
Shout out. I don't know. I'm guessing. Shout out Felines.
Cross colors.
Yeah.
Emma.
Her feelings.
Shout out Pastor Ewing. On shoe brand. Pastor Ewing. Shout out.
So
If you want to be our sponsor, Pastor Ewing holler us. The 2020 Podcast LLC. Hey, y'all hashtag Pastor Ewing.
Somebody at Patrick Ewing.
At Pastor Ewing. But boy Black said the first person to ask Pastor Ewing, he gonna give him $5 cash out.
that's the next
Right.
And like he was saying, like he's
Like,
like,
what I
he's like,
said.
you get bottle of Chris I'll put it on Drake tab. And then Drake be like,
Drake like.
He said shit. I know that like gatekeeping Black American culture is really controversial for some people because let's be honest, you've been giving it away for free for so many years now. People just don't respect our culture. Folks don't even think we have culture. I've just heard other Black people say Black Americans don't have culture because they see it as watered down American culture. They don't even see it as ours anymore because we've let it be so free and available to everybody else. So even amongst the diaspora, they don't respect things that are Black American now. So I personally feel like certain things we just need to keep to ourselves. It doesn't have to, we don't have to make money off of everything that we do. We just don't. And so, I don't know, it's a personal choice for me. I know not a lot of people just don't think that's a good thing to do, but other races of people do it. You're not gonna be all up in Chinese culture doing their stuff.
We support them.
Even Hispanic people don't let you be all up in their stuff.
Of
Like,
course not.
why do we have to be the ones that give
You
give
wanna know?
give?
Well, let me ask you, Jim, because you're a part of a frat. How do you feel about y'all fraternity sororities openly embracing
Yeah.
white people in what
That's
was started just for y'all?
I can't speak, of course, on behalf of everybody. Me personally, I'm not against it. Let me tell you why. The reason I'm not against it is because my core values, although the fraternity was made for us because we weren't included in theirs, the time is different. You know, we are not in that same time per se. I'll put that caveat. As long as that person, and I'm speaking on behalf of Phi Beta Sigma, as long as that person exemplifies the ideals that we go by, that is my brother.
We'll stop calling it a black fraternity then.
Well, we
But
don't.
it is a Black Greek letter organization. That's how they started.
No, just because you started there.
Well, we don't call
How about
ourselves
just
black.
calling it a fraternity?
No, that's the thing. See this, and this is the outside versus inside. The inside, we don't say we're a Black Greek organization. We say we're the Divine Nine. That's another thing. So we there's certain lingo that is stopped that made that divide because we realized that we have brothers and sisters who are not like we have, bro. One of our strongest chapters are in Puerto Rico, and they are white. Like one of our biggest chapters are over there, and they are active as shit.
Yeah, because white people like to pay their fees.
You are hilarious. Hashtag pay fees. But no, like I as much as I want to be inclusive and hold on to this, I can't because I have a larger view as what my fraternity represents. And it represents brotherhood, scholarship, and service. It never says brotherhood, scholarship, and service only for black people.
Well,
It never said that.
because it didn't need to be explained, because
It
it
was
already understood.
But it was also understood for that time though.
And I understand that because I can't say nothing because I'm not in the grad. And I can understand that may be the progressive of being on the next level thinking of it. But from me, I'm like, well, once we do that, we don't have nothing for ourselves because I bet you there's a bunch of stuff that white people won't let us in. And if they do, they're not gonna sit there and change it and say, oh, we all inclusive or we all inclusive. You can say whatever you want to, but y'all are really exclusive because just like Michael Jordan might have a team, but they ain't about to let Kanye and company go get a team.
Well, with that same mindset,
Just to have a front. That's a front.
well, all right, let's flip it then. Let's flip this since we talk about white people interjecting themselves into black culture. Why don't we have that same energy for Christianity?
What you mean?
Why don't we have that same energy?
Here goes the rabbit hole. Hashtag rabbit hole.
When we come to black church, anytime I see a white person coming in and getting the choir, they're like, oh, we got a white person.
That's dumb.
You know what I'm saying? Or we have a white pastor that acts black.
That's dumb.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the South.
That's a stereotype, though.
I mean, stereotype or not, it's a reality.
It's a reality, right?
So why is that an issue? But in Christianity, it's cool. Oh, that's just my brother in Christ. Why is that cool?
That's something that because it ain't such thing as a black church or a white church. Honestly, really.
It really
It
is not.
was though. That's the thing. It was though. Was it not?
I mean, what do you think Southern
Was it
Baptist?
not? What's that church down there? What's the church? What's the
Well,
church?
because white
That I
people,
gave took pictures at. What's it
Well,
called?
white people wasn't
African
trying to go to
Methodist
church.
Well, hold up. What's that? Hold up. Okay, so what's the name of that church? Oh, okay. That sounds awfully black to me. That sounds awfully sounds awfully colored to me.
Hashtag awfully black to me.
Awfully black to me.
Shout out State Street every side.
And then listen, I'm not bashing Christianity. I'm just
No.
saying.
No, we
I
can
see
do
what
that.
you're saying. I do see what you're saying with that.
Got some issue rolls in the comments, you guys?
Hey, shout out to SG Rose. What's that? Appreciate y'all.
And then,
SG Rose, I need you to go get your song rolls and bring them here. Well, we about to close, but bring them here tomorrow.
yeah, so, but the thing about it is, like, sororities and fraternities, it was brought about because because we were in an oppressive state.
Yeah.
Now, religion, the way we interpret the religion comes from a depressive state too as well. That's why Christianity has changed over the 30, 40 years because the fire and brimstone, we kind of realized the Bible don't really say it like that. But you got to understand, we was only like 20, 30 years knowing how to read for real.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about earlier about translating the Bible from Greek to Hebrew. There's words in there that English words cannot describe. So what happened is for me, I'm not trying to look at the details. I'm trying to look at the concept. What is the concept saying?
What's the overall?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that being said, it's kind of hard to make that kind of mesh together. So that we can kind of just learn a concept instead of trying to like nitpick everything. Then maybe we can kind of like get there.
Man, but
Jim, I think got a sister in the chat.
I do.
Sigma Gamma Rho.
Oh no, that's not my sister.
I'm sorry.
That's
Hashtag I'm sorry.
Hashtag margarita cake.
that's right. And Margarita King.
I might add the hashtag.
Jimmy and honey.
Yeah, I think I need a shot of that too.
No chaser. Just rock.
Yes, sir.
That was the last.
That was it, man. That's
Okay,
all
so
right.
we got any freestyle? Was
You
something
want
on
to
your
shout
mind?
out the sponsors again?
Oh, I forgot one. The Blurred Syndicate.com. Look, if you're a nerd like me, I don't know if y'all see me around town, but I be having this Fresh Prince shirt that's in the style of anime. The Uncle Phil, everybody's real dope shirt. But just anything. He got Golden Girls, just anything you're a fan of, it is at the shop, bro. Go in there, go look for it. And he ain't got just clothing, though. He got kitchen aprons. He got mouse pads, keyboards, mugs, hats, beanies.
Nice.
Goddamn muscle shirts. If you got the muscles, you know what I'm
If you
saying?
don't buy the shirt, you didn't get the muscle.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
I'm talking about working way into it.
Hey, speaking of muscle, let me tell you what this fool KC did.
Man, here you go.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Hashtag that.
I'm at the sink or whatever, doing whatever it was I was doing. Oh, and he was like, the Hennessy. This nigga walked up on me, right? I'm from Cali already. You already in my circumference. The nigga, I weigh 255. I'm a somewhat big nigga. This nigga hit me with his
That's somewhat big.
left pectoral. He didn't even hit me with his body. The nigga left pectoral hit me, and I was like, I had to hold my shit like, nigga, working out.
Yes.
I was, you know how I do my bump into you? No. I go pectoral. So hashtag get your workout on. Get the shirt, start working up, and I promise you when I get back home, I'm gonna start doing 3 push-ups and I'm gonna put press.
You gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
I thought you was
I see Kevin Reed talking about, oh
I've
no,
been in the gym.
oh
I gotta get in the gym early in
Get
the
on the
morning.
gym.
Get this margarita cake back on.
Right.
I know that right. And he coats and stuff.
Hey, I got a question though.
What up?
This is for strictly for my niggas,
Hashtag Tupac.
right? What is your motivation to get married in 2022, if any?
I love love. I love hard. Which translates to me loving easily. But sometimes it backfire. Well, apparently it always backfires. But no, for real, man. Is it to me, from me just personal, man? It's nothing like sharing that experience with that woman, the ups and the downs and in betweens, and y'all being able to work, you know what I'm saying, through that. Like, I'm not one of these people that'll look at a celebrity couple and be like, those are my relationship goals. When I have people around me that's been married for 47 years, that's been married for 42 years, that's been married for 39 years. Not to say that they had it all together, but to say that whatever they had, it was worth them fighting for it and you know what I'm saying, and sticking it out. So I believe in, I don't believe in love, I believe in true, genuine love. Because for so long, I was looking for wife, marriage, wife, marriage, wife, marriage. And I skipped a whole bunch of shit in between that. So now I'm looking for my best friend.
I was past that.
You know what I'm saying?
And then show you gravitas.
I'm looking for my best friend that's able, you know what I'm saying, to be my peace as well, and I reciprocate that. She my best friend, I'm her best friend. She give me peace, I give her peace. She listen to understand, I listen to understand. We don't listen because a lot of times in that you see people listen to respond. Like they just can't wait to respond to what you got to say stuff. But you know what, I don't agree, but let me see if I can understand.
Right.
Because we're not gonna agree with everything.
Right.
Because two people from two different households, two different upbringings, trying to mesh all that, you know what I'm saying, together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just in the bottom of it, I desire to find love. I desire to be in love. I desire to be married because that's something that's special and that I want to value and that I want to cherish. Because ain't nothing in these streets but freaking lies and disappointments. That's all it is in these streets.
Goddamn, Casey. Shit.
Hashtag lies and disappointments.
So one day you ask somebody that you love them.
And y'all better share this. Share
I
this.
got a question for my queen
Share
too
this.
after this.
Y'all always asking me what they think, what they feel, how to make somebody do this,
I wanna
how
make
to
sure I
make this
answer
stuff up to the
it.
plate. Grown men right here telling you what they think, how they feel. You can't speak for them, they speaking for themselves right now. Share it.
Amen.
Yeah, we're gonna put this part in the chat.
No.
I tried.
Yeah.
Hashtag no.
Yeah. The question was, I'm assuming that if you want to get married, what is your motivation to get married in 2022? If any, yeah. Because everybody don't want to be married in 2022.
Oh, you got a sister.
As of this year,
Miss Griffin's sister.
all right, so my motivation is the connection, that genuine connection. I don't even have to say something. You know, like you ever been able to have a thought that you can't convey or exactly say, but the other person can meet eyes with you and know exactly where you're going, or the ability just to create together, like. Being a person where, and shout out to like acts of service, because that's been my shit since day one. Acts of service have been the way I do for others. Like if you have an idea and you're serious about it, I'm gonna help you as much as I can. But if you were able to help me when I don't know now, you know, that take give, where we're both happy is what I want. That my full cup will pour into your cup, your full cup will pour into my cup when we need it. You know, ain't no 50-50 here. It's gonna be overflowing over in this one, you know. And that way, whatever we touch is gold. That's my motivation. The goal to just create a space where we can be without the vitriol. You know what I'm saying? Being able to just be for each other. I think so many people are just so ready to say what they want, but not what they can be for the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I know niggas hate to hear the term, what do you bring to the table? But like, in a certain sense, like literally, like what are you bringing to each other's lives to make each other peaceful? You know what I'm saying?
But people don't think of it in the stance of they think of it like, what are you bringing to me? But it's really, what can we do to make this table cool?
Yes.
It's everything that you're bringing to make this table of peace.
Like,
what you got? I got potatoes. I got some chicken, nigga. I got some steak over here. What you got over here? Well, I got food. I got mac and cheese. I got baked beans on this. Oh, you like what can we do to make this prosperous? Make this peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be able to suffice off of it. Be able to feed off of each other like this. What can we bring?
Yeah,
So that's
like compliment each other.
Absolutely.
Like that shit.
answer the question,
Right.
Black. Answer your own question. Black right to break down. You want me to hold your shoulder?
Break down. Steady break me on.
Black like fuck take his hat off. Y'all.
Is it midnight yet? Because I can turn this to the Dusty and Drake.
No, you
Not
ain't.
yet.
No.
Somebody give y'all a Chris Brown answer.
Hell no.
First name Chris Brown.
You gotta have a fat ass.
It's gonna- You know what I mean?
Me,
No, but definitely what both of y'all said is that connection. I mean, like, I've already maxed out what I can do by myself. Like, I can't, and it's only like, I can feel it, it's only like half. Like, I feel like I'm not even living life yet, you know what I'm saying?
Same.
I feel like I ain't even living it yet. So, at the end of the day, I know if God put me here, and he was like, it ain't good for you to be here by yourself, let me find you a
Complimentary.
part, then that should be, there's a reason for that. And if I don't have that, I haven't experienced that. So when you say where you can sit down with a person and you might try to express your own feelings, but they can tell you in a way where it's clear to you, but you're trying to make it clear to them. So that lets you know they already got it, right? And so I was talking with somebody, I was like, imagine coming into a restaurant and you see a couple sitting at a table, but you can see they having a sub-communication with their eyes, and they laughing, and they smiling, but no words are spoken. Imagine seeing that, even if it's for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a long time. You know, that uncomfortable silence creep in on people all the time. But imagine that you can have this sub-communication with a person on that level like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, God put that there. He hardwired us to have that. And I think as like real men, and I hate using that term, we long for that. You know what I'm saying? And so, being that I haven't had that, I feel like I'm not living my life to its truest potential. And so that's always my motivation. Like you said, you love love, I love love too. God is love. I mean, so why wouldn't I seek that?
Amen.
Very nice.
Very well articulated.
I was ready to catch up to him,
The
but I
third
wasn't
tier-
ready to get on camera.
The third
I was
tier,
going,
the camera too far away to
No.
see it.
hashtag don't drop.
That's right.
Good job,
And
Steph.
so here's a quick question for
Hashtag mutual
This is a quick
interest.
question for the ladies. What, and you're married, so it might be a little bit different, but you can still probably answer it. As especially black women, what do y'all need from us as black men, for real? I mean, the one thing that you can put on that will at least keep y'all more hopeful than you already have been, because we ain't easy to love, straight up.
I can agree.
But need in what way though?
Whatever, however you defined it, because I can't tell you what you need from me. Not to the level that will make you be like, okay, y'all on some fuck shit, but I see that you really putting in the effort. You just too stupid to realize what it is, or you're not listening to what it is, or you're not understanding the self-communication. Because women, they communicate covertly. Men, we overt. It's easy for us to talk to each other. Women, they pay attention to body language, inflection, tone. You know, we do too, but we're more vocal with it. You can ask a woman a yes or no question, they're gonna tell you how they feel about it and all that other stuff. I say anything wrong about it, Kay?
I didn't say nothing.
I'm just saying. But then you can ask a man a straight yes or no question, he's gonna say yeah or no. So I'm just saying, so y'all communicate a little different than that. So what is it that y'all would wish that we had as black men that would help y'all? Help y'all get us to a point where we can love you appropriately.
I gotta think about that one, so let me do last.
Or what have you found to get you to the point to get married?
I found I don't really need anything quite extra from you. I just need you to be authentically you in every sense of it. I need you to know you enough to know your emotion. I need you to know you enough to know your likes, your dislikes. I need you to know where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, what you actually want, what you actually need. I need you to know that this wasn't right. You know, I need you to know that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to open up. It's okay to cry sometimes. It's okay to be authentically you without any outside perception of it. Not what your brother's gonna think, what your mom's gonna think, because if it's you and me, then it's you and me. And so I need to know what you think, so it can authentically be you and authentically be me, so that we can come together and make this work. You know what I mean? I don't need you to be a facade. I don't need you to be what you think I need. I need you to authentically be you, so we can see where the holes are. We can see what we need to plug. We can see what we need to redo this, what we need to remodel, what we need to add some extra plaster right here, so that we can make our house an authentic home. You know what I mean? I don't need you to have no facades. I don't need you to have no walls. I don't need you to try. I need you to do. Because if you're authentically waking up and doing something, then you're not trying, you're doing, right? So I need you to have that mindset that we're doing. We're doing this shit. We're not trying to do it. We're in this. We're doing it, because try still gives you a way to leave. Because if you try something that don't hurt, you gotta stop.
Say
But
that
if we're
again.
in it, then we're in it together. You know what I mean? We're doing this. We're doing this. You still have a way to leave. Because that's half. You're only trying. You're not really doing it if you're trying. But if you're doing it, you're doing it. It's active. We're continuously doing this. It's not something that we're putting on. It's something that we're picking up every day and we're doing. You know what I mean? So
Try implies a condition of failure.
exactly.
That's a tricky
Like there's exactly.
But
That need to be on somebody's shirt. Something. Let me get on camera. Let me make me my quote of the day. By the way, side note, I record this on Instagram and Facebook. Plugging that in there too. But yeah, I can't record this one more time.
Hashtag Marcus got a winner.
I got me up on the because when you show up as your best self, it makes me want to show up as my best self. And then we're our best selves together, and we create magic that way. If I come half-ass, you gonna come half-ass, you know what I mean? Or if you don't, you come wholeheartedly, you feel like you carrying an extra half-ass that I'm not fucking carrying. And that's not making us do this together. I'm over half-ass doing it. That's what happened in that starter relationship.
That's because it started.
He was really half-ass, but the other 75% of ass was getting ass out to the other women that he felt like needed his opinion and his love and his attention. Now, let me also say I'm not completely innocent, but my actions were definitely reactions to his actions. I'm also vindictive. So I feel like if you get me, I gotta get you harder. So there is that. I'm not completely innocent. I attest to that. You can pull up 2020 recordings from way back when. Oh, what you can do so on Anchor and Apple and YouTube and Google and let me go back to Anchor because we really like that one, and Spotify, all streaming platforms, by the way, if you want to listen to any of those prior conversations that we've had. But yeah, I've always attested to that. But you live, you learn, and use those lessons as really atlases to life. So you take your lessons and you put them on the map, and it helps you complete your full map so that you know what this whole thing is supposed to be. Just like if you're on Zelda and you trying to get to the little shit, you gotta play this part in order to see this part of the map. You gotta play this part in order to see this part of the map. And so that's why I say everything happens for a reason, and nothing is a coincidence. Because unless you go through this, you can't get your map piece, and you need that map piece in order to get the full key of life, of what your purpose is, of what your life is. So you have to go through and get your lessons so that you can make a full map and you can navigate through.
Is Marcus your leader? Is he the leader of the family? I'm sorry, let me redact the word "your
The
leader."
offense that's rolled across the
Right. I mean, is he the leader?
I wasn't even gonna say nothing crazy though.
I don't think he was, but from the outside looking in, that kind of.
If you don't know me, you probably thought I was gonna say something.
Because that's important to men.
Yeah.
Because if you print the picture
I'll
of,
say that Marcus is the head of our household.
okay, what's the difference?
I'll say that there are things, there's never an overall leader. Like, you don't tell me what to do, I'm not telling you what to do. But we do have this, and this, and I feel like this is what we should do. You hearing me, I'm hearing you. I feel like this is what we should do. All right, well, let's do this. Baby, if you do this, this happens. Okay, I hear you. Let me not do that. Baby, when you do this, this happens. You probably shouldn't do that no more. You right, that's crazy. I probably shouldn't do that no more. So there's no leader. There's us.
Okay,
Like a checks and balance type situation.
Yeah, like,
okay. Shout out to Prosperous Marriages.
Man, these
so let me
comments,
read some of these
boy.
comments.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay,
say,
so now y'all gonna have some time to
Okay,
think about
wait,
y'all
wait.
answers. What? Because for
Wait.
you,
Let me read some comments before you get on the tangent, man.
I was gonna prep her to get her answer next. That's all.
They thinking about the answer. Let me read some comments. We can go back up to
Hey.
Melanie. She said she loves her data, so it's cool. She wasn't hating it. And that's what I was telling Miss Griffin. I believe it's Mashiba. Is
Shout out to you, Michelle.
that's your star right there. All right, and
Make
Nikki,
sure
I'm
that
like
adds
Nikki
Michelle.
from the Bay. She said, "Woo, child! Shout out to the pie, y'all pie, and we like that. Shout out to Nikki from the Bay." Okay.
Hot English.
Is this clear? Ooh, you're gonna have to write your pronunciation down there, because I just felt slow. Okay, great answer. Most men or women would not put that much thought into what it takes to really make a relationship work. Everyone is so caught up in the exterior physical appearance, which fades. Nikki from the Bay, I couldn't have said that better.
She talking about what I said, probably.
She probably wasn't.
Hashtag she probably wasn't.
Melanie said transparency, vulnerability, and authenticity. Right. See, without that, I can't love you the way you need to be loved.
She
Both
probably
of
talking
them
about
feel
you.
secure and supported. I feel like we was on the same page. She definitely, they weren't talking about you, they were talking about me, but it's fine. You can have yours. But Sheila said communication and setting boundaries. That's very important too. Know what a line is. Don't cross this line. We can't play. Don't tickle me. I might punch you in the face. And then if you tickle him and you get punched in the face, I felt like it was warranted. Now I don't condone domestic violence, but he told you don't do this, and you tried to change that man into feeling like he needs to be tickled. You got punched in the damn face. Anyway, y'all are asking that. Hashtag our best selves together. Yes, right, Nikki from the I like her. Claire. I'm sorry, I'm probably messing your name up. I'm
That's
saying what
okay,
I'm going to
Claire.
say. KH, okay? You know what I mean? Constant open communication is definitely the key to growing together. Ms. Griffin said communication is number one. Also a relationship killer of the communication not there. That's definitely true. And definitely listening to comprehend what the other person is saying. Listen. Yeah, that's right, Ms. Griffin. All caps. Exclamation point, exclamation point. K_H. Yes, it should be about partnership. Ms. Griffin says some men don't know how to listen.
Huh?
Hashtag teamwork. Hashtag be honest about your weaknesses, about what you want and expect. And for confirmation, Nikki from the Bay said, I was talking to sis. Sis is K.
I'm about to
I'm about to
block her.
get out. Don't leave nobody
I'm
comments.
about to block her comment.
Don't block nobody comments.
Nah, we'll see.
That's that sisterhood you were talking about.
Exactly.
Y'all ready?
Yeah. I kind of feel like you said it all for the most part. Honestly, when you really think about relationships, I honestly truly believe most people want the same thing when it comes down to the core of it all. People want to know their partner and they want their partner to know themselves. And then they want their partner to be able to communicate well with them in a way that they can understand. And that's just all I think generally everybody wants. But as far as just me in particular, I'm still trying to figure out exactly, what it is that I want from somebody. All I know right now is what I don't like.
That's a good place to
Because
start.
you have to start somewhere. I truly believe you, and I know that I don't like it when people just don't know any self-awareness of themselves.
Yeah.
When you don't know who you are or where you want to be or who you want to be, if you don't have any form of a goal, any form of a life decision that you want to make or achieve, that's just not something that I can vibe with because I don't live my life like that. When you have to have something in common with the person that you're about to, make whatever kind of future with them. And if you can't even get to the core of, I want my future to look like this, and this, and they can't say anything about their future, I think that's a red flag for me. So for me, it's all about you being honest with who you are, being able to communicate that with me, and being open with your emotions. Because I'm a very emotionally intelligent person, so I can tell when something is off about you. And a lot of times people don't see how their emotions rub off on other people, and I'm normally the person that gets the energy that you rubbing off. So if I'm around you all the time and your energy is negative or off any kind of way, I'm gonna feel that. So I need you to understand how what your actions also make me feel like, so that we can speak about that openly. And yeah, so communication, you knowing yourself, and then being able to communicate with that with me, and just having a purpose for your life, whatever that purpose may be. Because who wants to be with somebody who doesn't have anything or want anything or desire anything? That's unfulfilling for both of you.
That's right.
They dub you up.
I'm from someone who has not had a successful relationship or a relationship in almost 6 years. The way that some of these men approach me also show me what I don't want. Um, I'm more protective of my energy, and the first bad vibe that I get from a guy, I'm like the SpongeBob meme. All right, I'm gonna head out. Someone told me, well, why don't you set the tone for what it is that you're looking for? And I made the example of the fact that a lot of men come to me in a visual sense, no matter what I'm wearing. They're looking at all of these curves, and everything comes off as sexual. And I have never even opened my mouth. They don't know me from social media. And then when I say to them, that's nice, but what else can you offer me? You kind of approach me wrong. You approach me with sex. You didn't offer me a date. My thing is, and you can go ahead and hashtag this now, hashtag dick before dates. Because that's what men have been offering me. And I'm looking at them like, no, that does not impress me. This guy inboxed me and he was like, oh yeah, you could get all these 12 inches. One, if I want 12 inches, I'm gonna go to Sub King for number 10. I don't want nothing that big.
Wow.
Hashtag Sub King.
Sub King slapped him.
I don't want it slaps all day and night.
Oh,
Woo. I don't want anything that big. And two, is that the line you use for all females? And three, why did you think that was going to work on me? That does not impress me. That depresses me. That's the first thing that comes to mind when you see my pictures, and all you can think about is fucking, but never what's your favorite color? What makes you happy? Can I take you out? Can I get to know you? And I am searching for a man of action and not just words, because my last relationship was a person who said all of the right things. The last person that sparked the possible interest of being in a relationship the end of last year was all words, and then all of a sudden he disappeared with no explanation. He awakened this positive vibe in me, like maybe this is the one, maybe I should give being in a relationship another try. And now I'm back down to like zero hope, and it is what it is, and maybe I'm just gonna die alone because men aren't approaching me in the right way. And I don't feel like I should have to tell a man, this is how I would like for you to approach me and speak to me, instead of just, to me, I'm thinking they're working off their emotions. They're looking at me and they're already thinking about how I can make them happy sexually and nothing else. When I ask a guy, okay, that's nice, sex is good. Yes, we're grown, we all enjoy sex, but can we get to know each other? Can we spend some time together? Can we work up to a point where there is feelings behind it to where we want to take it to that next level, and they disappear without any other explanation. At least tell me I'm not really looking for anything serious with you. They just go away.
Yeah.
And that's what takes away my hope from being in a fulfilling relationship. And I'm in don't give a fuck mode. Maybe I'm just gonna die alone. I don't know. That's where I am right now.
So you need us to be more intentional.
Right. And I appreciate a person who tells me from the beginning, I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want to have sex, as opposed to lying and starting off with doing all of the right things. And then once I feel like I want to go to that next level with him, and I do, then everything changes.
Well, I'm gonna give you some game. The reason why men do that is because it's not a you thing. Men, they approach several women, and so they have to kind of like play the game a certain kind of way. And if you with it, then you are. If you ain't, then you ain't. Because they're not looking at it from a emotional standpoint of, oh, I really want to have sex with this mind telling, this logic telling, I'm trying to knock down as much as I can with the least path of resistance. Now, I do agree with you that you shouldn't have to tell no grown ass man how to approach a woman. And if you do, that's probably not the guy you're going to want. Because it's going to be hard for him to be a complimentary,
Complimentary.
Yeah. Part for your
Hashtag complimentary is whooping black ass.
so dudes act like that, and you gotta understand, like, just like the dick pics. The reason why that's as stupid as that
They
is.
have no game.
As stupid as that is, and no game as that is, it works on some women
It
enough
does.
for dudes to keep doing it. So it's not necessarily a you thing or anything like that. And
It's fraud and statistics class, basically.
yeah, it's like it's a numbers game for men. It's a number game, like on a dating site. It's a range of women he would rather have, but it's something that he'll smash, so he gonna say yeah. So he might have 80% of the women that he got like women, they only gonna really pick who they think is cute, that might really have some things going on. That's only gonna be 20% of all the men, because y'all looking at it differently, because y'all looking for quality, not quantity. You know what I'm saying? So that's how men operate. Let me see. I love
Talking mad shit about you.
what's
K_H says, yes, that is such a turn off when men lead with sex. Get to know the entire person, not just one body part. Then let's go from there. If you are serious, I'm just saying. Nikki from the Bay. Complimentary. Damn, she on your neck, Black. K_H said, right. Be upfront from the beginning about your intentions. There will always be someone who is just that they so petty, who is just down to sleep with you.
Facts.
Bring a good woman along. Nikki from the Bay said, when your favorite word catch you.
That makes like that word in 7 different languages.
She said, well, shit.
But the men know though, if I tell you straight up, I just want sex, and you ain't gonna be with it because they already do you like that, and that's a turn off. Women already say don't lead with sex. I personally say don't lead with sex. Always allow a woman to come up with the sex conversation first, and if she does, ignore it the first time. Wait till she does it the second time. You have to respond the second time, because if she has to do it the third time, she might think you
Tambourine player.
tambourine player. I like that. Tambourine player. So allow her to dictate pace when it comes to sex. You know what I'm saying? She knows you wanted to smash, but don't act like it.
And this is my thing too. You know what I'm saying? As much as, you know, say K Roddy, light skin keep sweat.
At least
You know what I'm saying? That's-
grip on it.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a
Like,
little pause.
I was thinking the same thing. I was
You
like,
was like this. This is what you just look like. You wanna look like this.
oh,
You on live. Right? You on
You
live.
remember like- you remember manly with that bicep
yeah,
work a little
put your
bit.
shirt up.
Yeah,
Man,
put your shirt up a little bit.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
But see, so like sex is great. Freaky sex, nasty sex, whatever kind of sex you want to call it. But I'm to the point now to
How you
where,
really feel?
hey, that's how I really feel. But I'm to the point now where,
Hardcore feel all of it. I love it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
hashtag jack of all trades.
Right.
But no, like when you really desire something, like to a man, from my perspective, I feel like this. I don't care how good your sex is. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what your status is. You know what I'm saying? Can you be my piece and can you love me when life happens?
Yeah.
You know, because anybody can love you when everything is on the up and up.
Yeah.
You know, so we going to trips, we taking pictures, we in matching pajamas. You know what I'm saying? But what happened when you throw them? What happened when you throw them? But what happened when you throw the matching pajamas at? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't see eye to eye, or you know what I'm saying? We trying to, you know what I'm saying, move money around to pay this bill and stuff like that. Can you still have that same enthusiasm in loving me versus when we are doing, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff? Because whether you want to believe it or not, life is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't the Huxtables or whatever kind of, you know what I'm saying, made for TV family that has been portrayed. So you have to learn how to deal with the downs, just how you ride, you know what I'm saying, on the ups. That freaking nasty, that jack of all trades sex, that's just a plus.
That's
You know what I'm saying, on top, you know what I'm saying, on top of everything. Because if men really wanted that, we can get that from basically from anywhere. Because there's women out there who that's just what they want. But if you want something with some substance, with some meat on it, they're gonna put some meat on your bones, then you know what I'm saying, can we communicate? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think y'all was saying that earlier, you know what I'm saying? It's all about mutual interest. If you pour into me, guess what? I'm gonna try to pour everything I got at you, because if you're good to me, I'm gonna try my damnedest to be better to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how my heart works.
68.2%.
68.2%.
No, I'm just messing with y'all. But I'm serious.
And the way y'all want to get a lasting picture, we grabbing like this. Yeah.
Now you gotta
Wow,
turn a
but
little
we
bit to
have
the
2
side.
hours of you sitting like this.
No. Yeah, I get that.
You like this one?
Kinda.
Yeah. Hey, Maria, I think this is the new right now. We the logo right here.
Okay, so
You know,
brothers, I was gonna say this for tomorrow, but let me ask, since we're in the same vein, what do we need from women to help love them better?
What do we need from the women?
Yes.
Listen, to understand, and not to respond. Everything that we say does not need an all lives matter response. Hey, baby, you know, well, if we come to a woman like, just in general, let me use just in general topic. Man, this girl cheating on me. Women get cheated on every day. Okay, we understand that, but we're not talking about that right now. You know what I'm saying? All the saying, this is like the all lives matter thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's black on black crime, but we're not talking about black on black crime right now. You know what I'm saying? We talking about, you know what I'm saying, the men thing. Oh man, it could hurt my feelings. Oh, you can't handle what y'all can't take what y'all dish out. We not talking about
that's
that.
why men don't be vulnerable.
Exactly.
To your point, like, or all y'all points that y'all want men to communicate, and when men communicate that's what happens. So that's what causes men to withdraw that.
And I hate
If a
women
man
that
is-
make a man feel that way.
Because if
And
a
men
man
is bad.
I'll say it again.
I hate for women to make men feel that way, because it makes it bad for a woman like me who wants you to be vulnerable, wants to give you that safe space. But the last person fucked it up for me, and now I got to deal with angry militant nigga, because the last bitch just went at him like, be a man, stop all this whining. Why you crying all the time? No, baby, come cry on my show. Listen, I will listen to everything that you have to say. If you need to vent, this is your safe place. This is your sanctuary. I am your sanctuary. But you know, it's like me just got too many niggas throwing dick pictures in her face.
If I'm vulnerable to you, then you already got like 80% of it. You know what I'm saying? The other part is just a piece of communication. But if I feel like I can talk to you about anything and it don't come back up, you know what I'm saying, in a negative way, if you check, if I've been vulnerable to you, and then you check on me in a loving way, in a caring way, in a genuine way, then you already, shoot, my jaws done turned the water in. You know what I'm saying? My jaws and heart done turned into water. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never heard that.
That's why I said I ain't never
Hashtag my jaws done turned into water.
No.
But because
somebody see, like,
is that what now?
Is it the Pacific Ocean or is
It's
it
kind of like Atlantic, with
It like
the Red Sea.
down the middle.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Red Sea.
The Red Sea, you know what I'm saying? But no, for real. That's only for a man. That's only for a man who really wants something. You know what I'm saying? It's some people who could. It's some men out there, some quotation, that they'll use that to play on women because they know women, like you were saying, women are emotional first. So they use that to play into that. But into it, yeah. Hashtag.
Wrong word. You gonna forget what you said. Wrong word.
You don't know what to do now.
What we talking about?
Yes.
But for someone who really wants a relationship and who really wants love, who really wants marriage, you know, that means a lot that I can come to you, because a lot of times we've had talks to where it was kind of like we creaking the door open because, you know, it's a man talking to a man about something that we approach, so we creaking the door open to see, you know, how they feel. But all the time I don't want to come to Black and be like is going on, or come to Jeff. Sometimes you want to have that soft, tender shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know what I'm saying?
Like a Keith Sweat song.
Hashtag be your own people. Time of death is 9:21. Time of death is 9:21. Be your own.
Hey man, hey y'all make sure man y'all subscribe to the YouTube page. But seriously, man, for somebody who really, man, let me go ahead. I feel like I'm Jamie Foxx. She's Jamie Foxx, not to do that. I'm trying to do that roast.
That shit was amazing.
You know, I was in that camera.
Oh my God, it's classic.
Yeah. I mean, as we answer this question, what I want to understand, patience is more than a word. Patience doesn't necessarily have a timeline. There's going to be times where I'm not fully processed an emotion yet, and give me that time to understand the weight and gravity of my actions, and allow me that space to make adjustments if possible. You know? A lot of times I'll think I'm stronger than I actually am, and then that crack in that armor will happen, and then I'll act outside of myself, you know, with what I normally am. And with that, allow me to understand that, receive that, forgive myself, make an adjustment going forward. So I know that's a lot, but I feel like all of that is a part of patience and understanding someone who's understanding themselves. So just understand the gravity of the word patience. That's all I got to say about that.
Patience is a virtue.
Oh,
Yeah.
For sure. Patience is important. Having that space, like you said, to be able to be who you authentically are, because that's what they're asking from us, is to be authentic. Not what your homeboys may think of you, although that matters to us as men on a degree, but when it comes to that relationship, you can't be real to your niggas as you are to your woman.
Facts.
So, and it's crazy because, like, that same space, like, it was given to me like this, like, a woman that's a lover of her man is going to create that space for him. They don't have to be asked for. This is something that she does because she knows that he needs it. And so if you allow a man to get into that space and not feel like it's a setup, you get 80% of the nigga, like you said. The 20% is the communication at that point. And if he could be that, the communication is going to come a little bit easier. Because where the communication stops is when I say to you, this is how I feel, and you go and say, well, we've been through that too. Or it can't be that because anything other than what you said is not validating what you're saying. Nobody's saying you have to necessarily even agree with it, because you can also say, baby, you're looking at it like that, but really it could be a blessing in this way, or whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? It's still a validation of what's being said. You don't want to come back and later on, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, all your shortcomings and all that other stuff. So you want to
He
have.
always think you can do something. He always think you can fly. Here he go walking again.
So I think for me, and I think a lot of men, if women could create a safe space for men to land, then that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? And as men, don't take advantage of that, because don't open up no woman you ain't prepared to like go all the way with, because it takes a lot to be emotionally open, even as women who process emotion first. So imagine as men how hard that is. So we just gotta kind of like make sure we stay complimentary.
I mean,
That's
What?
He definitely said like 7 different words.
I don't even know if this man speaks English anymore. I don't know what's going on.
We done.
That's actually rather
Talking about me.
impressive.
We done.
Really impressive.
Yo, to everybody that's been tuned in, left, came back.
Right. Shout out. We got a lot of people still.
Yeah, man, we got a great number.
Make sure y'all go to the EBH Black page, because
Yes.
one of these days I'm gonna get that word right, which is my favorite word.
Yes, make sure y'all bring y'all ass back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do a slight change in the casting. We're gonna have a couple more people here. Hopefully we have Mr. Eternity Everlasting joining us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So that being said, this is Big Boy Sir Black, K Marie, Wind Down Wizard, your girl lady, Ashley B on the ones and twos.
Yay, yay.
You know what I'm saying? And we out, peace.
He
Yeah, I'll take you out of bed, like some of y'all want to trip.
Right.